Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Well, it depends on where it is.
A ruling released Friday from the U.S. Court for the Middle District of Florida, St. Johns County prevailed in a legal dispute with residential developer Southeast Development Partners, LLC, and Southeast Land Ventures, LLC, the developers responsible for the Grand Oaks subdivision off State Road 16, were found in default of their agreements to widen a 3-mile section of State Road 16. The cost of the project had more than tripled since its approval. And the county upheld its right to enforce the original terms in the agreement. You're looking over like, what are you questioning, Troy?
I'm just, these developers, these horrible developers.
Yeah, awful.
Well, I mean, they're holding them accountable, which is nice proof to see that happen.
Yeah, no, it's good.
For once.
Judge Claire R. Kelly.
Oh, hey.
Maybe not include the R.
No R.
No R.
No R.
No R. Sided with the county on all counts, affirming that the developers must adhere to the initial commitments. The county had withheld platting approval for the Grand Oaks community due to the developers' failure to meet deadlines and complete the required road widening.
Oh, yeah.
The developers had proposed to pay $16.7 million for the project, which fell short of the estimated $60 million needed. Because of the cost that went up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's well short.
Yeah, could have bought Serenata with that.
A few times. The county declared the developers in default and transferred $5 million held in escrow to the Department of Transportation for the road design. Doesn't sound like that's going to come close to covering it either.
Mm-hmm.
The developers argued that they should not be responsible for the road widening costs, citing various emergencies and the financial burden. However, the county commissioners disagreed, emphasizing that the developers had committed to the project regardless of the cost. The commissioners voted to enforce the agreement, and the developers subsequently filed a civil action against the county.
Jeez, OP.
Yeah, the county countersued, and the judges ruled that they ultimately violated the county's claims. And that, okay.
I think this is off at 210. Am I saying that right? I think
It's a little further south than that.
Oh, is it more by 16?
Yeah.
16, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's State Road 16. It's probably closer to World Golf Village, that area there.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, and developers should be smarter than this. I mean, they agreed to it, and that's what you got to do. But I mean, in our development, we have in numbers not to exceed, and they didn't have the not to exceed. So yeah, we'll build this if it's not to exceed $16 million. Well, now it's $60 million because the cost goes up.
Yeah.
And by the time people get around to it and stuff like that, the cost always goes up. So developers, that's on you for making a rookie mistake.
Federal judge noted that the developers had attempted to delay their obligations by invoking emergencies such as hurricanes and the COVID-19 pandemic. We're still blaming things on COVID?
No, you can't now. It's done.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We're still blaming things on Irma and
right.
What is it, Matthew?
Yeah.
So
the ruling allows the county to halt further development in the Grand Oaks community until developers fulfill their obligations. Yeah, man. So
they're going to pay for it.
So they won't be able to sell their properties is I think how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they can hold their COs because they haven't completed the, and COs are certificates of occupancy.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't be able to sell their houses.
Will someone have to buy this development now? Like, what's the next steps in a situation like this? You think,
yeah, that's probably how it's going to shape out. I mean, I don't know how big this company is. So
Kelly asked a good question in comments. Do they pay the liens that are on the properties out there?
The liens on the properties. I think that question was more for Serenata.
Oh.
So the liens. I think that was the Serenata question.
If they were widening the road, I was just thinking.
Yeah. No. They own everything. So I mean, right now there shouldn't be any liens unless it's on the contractors. But there are liens at Serenata.
Gotcha. That's where that comes from.
Yeah, that's where that's coming in. So, and yeah, that's part of the reason why that auction might not be a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna.
Right. That's what. Yeah.
No, but I mean the developer, like you said, it might either that or they file bankruptcy and the whole thing goes away. So I I mean, there's a lot of different ways this plays out, and we're headed into, if we're not already in, we're in a mini recession right now. People don't want to believe it.
Yeah. There you go. Breaking news. We're in a recession.
You're welcome.
I heard it on this show right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, then if we're in a recession, it'll be very interesting to see if anybody even buys this at all. If they do, they'll get it for pennies on the dollar, possibly.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess that's that.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm glad the court upheld, and made the developer hold to what they said they would do.
Is this a rare occurrence? Is that normal?
Usually there's a negotiation that's after the fact that comes in, and I'm glad the county held their ground. I mean, I had a similar situation when I was Parks and Recreation Director, and a developer was supposed to turn over a park for public use, and they're like, no, we decided we were going to keep it. No, that's not what it says. And I went down and I stopped. He had 3 houses that were sale for that day, and I felt bad for the families that were about to buy those houses, but I stopped them being able to purchase those houses until he turned the park over. So they turned the park over the next day. It's kind of weird how that happened.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting how you just have to jolt people sometimes.
You just got to hold to what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, moving on to gas.